Hi, my name is Mike. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'd like to show you a little something different, but before I do, I'd like to tell you about, as I was growing up, I mean, like literally 7, 8 years old up until now, I've always had something to do with cars, be it whatever way, shape, or form. And I started out very young building model cars. And, the people that inspired me along the way, there's been generations of car builders that stand out in this industry, of that. What I'm explaining is the industry of customizing cars for car shows and that kind of thing. And the earliest one in my life that really stuck out was a guy named Ed Big Daddy Roth. Okay, and he was a pretty big guy. He wore funny hats, and he always, had a little goatee or something, and I don't want to say he was a beatnik, but he was maybe an early version of possibly being a beatnik. Anyway, long story short, he developed some models at one point in time, aside from just the normal custom type of car. He developed a series of what I call to be monster models. And I was quite impressed with them all, and I bought them and built each one individually and hand painted each one individually. And I'm going to share those with you today. The first one you may recognize, okay? It's Ratfig. Okay, I call them Mr. All right, Mr. Ratfig. It may or may not at this point look familiar to you, okay? But I hand painted all of these, and I addressed them in the colors that I decided to handpick myself and not copy what they were off of the box. But you have to kind of like stick with certain colors when it comes to teeth and eyeballs. Okay. The next one I'll share with you is this young guy is called Mr. Shifter, and he's in a '57 Chevy, very popular car. And he's got quite the elaborate design there with a big ball shifter in his hand. And again, I've appropriately painted his face to look like a monster, and complete with the teeth and all that. I've added one little thing here on his back. I put a tattoo, and I don't know if you can read it in the camera, but inside of the tattoo, I've inscribed the word mom. The next one I'd like to show you is a young gentleman with a big sledgehammer, and his name is the Eliminator. Got a little bit of extra weight going on there, quite the sledgehammer, and his name is boldly engraved. I won't say it's blood red, but it's bright red paint, and highlighted his pockets. And the next one is going to be my favorite, and sorry I don't have to turn my back on you, is I grew up for a while in Los Angeles. I feel a certain affiliation with surfers and the ocean and everything. And this guy is my version of the monster surfer. And what I did was, I'm going to hold it close to the camera here. I tried to make the surfboard look as realistic as possible. I painted and sanded it many times to bring out as many colors as I could. So got a little bit of a collage going on there. The waves I've highlighted in white and appropriately blue. Again, the monster face, the blonde hair, and a bit of a hairy guy. And that is my collection of Ed Big Daddy Roth monster models. Now, Ed Roth was not the only icon growing up through the 60s, 70s, 80s. There was a gentleman named Boyd Coddington, another gentleman named Chip Foose, who's extremely popular right now. He had his own show on TV. And these are all guys that spent tons of time customizing cars and so on and so forth. And these are the kind of cars that you go to the car shows or Good Guys car show, and you see them. And, in addition, each one of the ones I've mentioned, including George Barris, which I didn't mention, George Barris was very popular in Hollywood. He had a store down there, right on Hollywood Boulevard, I believe. And he did some of the early custom cars. He did Sonny and Cher. and I'm not sure who else he did, but I know he did a couple of other movie stars type cars to customize them to set them apart from the norm. Okay. And he was very famous. He's not with us anymore, nor is Ed Big Daddy Roth. But Boyd Coddington also passed, if I recall. And Chip Foose is very active. He's got a one of his shops down in California in Huntington Beach. I recently was down there, and they give tours, and they're free. And it's not necessarily the tour of where he was making the videos for television, but it's where he actually works on the cars. All right. And it's interesting. It's interesting to a person like me. If you're married to a man that is interested in this sort of thing, you can go online. Now, when I say that I was recently down there, it was about a year ago, I believe it was. And I took the tour, and what they do is, you show up at a certain time. There's a sign on the fence. You wait out there with anybody else that might have showed up for the tour, and at a certain time they let you in. And Chip did not give this particular tour, but another fellow did, and he was really good. He was really interesting. He had all the answers to all the questions everybody had. You can take as many pictures as you want, and it's free. Okay, and that's not the most important thing, but to know who Chip Foose is and be able to go down there and see where he actually works himself was pretty thrilling, at least to me. Anyway, that's my story for right now. I've got some other things I'd really like to share with you. I'd really appreciate it if you'd hit that subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.